Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Weather Talks episode. This one is how to prepare for a tornado outbreak, or basically just how to prepare for a tornado in general. So, first off, you have to understand the tornado threats. Obviously, what a tornado is. It's the definition of a tornado is a violently rotating column of air that is in contact with both the surface and a cumulonimbus cloud, or in rare times, it could be attached to a cumulus cloud. You need to understand the tornado season. That is very dependent on where you live. If you live in Tornado Alley, so that includes Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, um, Illinois, Indiana. That's typically from March to late July. If you live in Dixie Alley, so that includes Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, um, Georgia. That's typically from October to December, and then from late January to March, and then it transitions up from Dixie Alley to Tornado Alley. And then you have the Ohio River Valley, and that season is normally from late July to September, or roughly right around there. This also varies depending on how active the year is. Like last year, it was very active from March until about late July for Tornado Alley. And Dixie Alley really never saw anything until December. So yeah, you need to understand the different tornado types and their characteristics. So a cone tornado, obviously the shape is wider at the top and you're at the bottom, making it look like a cone. The wind speeds, winds in a cone tornado can reach in excess of 300 miles per hour. For reference, an EF5 tornado has wind speeds of 201 miles per hour or faster. Damage, the cone tornadoes can damage an area 1 mile wide and 50 miles long, with consistency too. Formation, they form from strong and powerful rotating thunderstorms called supercells, as all tornadoes do. And their appearance, they look like an ice cream cone. Your stovepipe tornadoes, their shape are taller than they are wide and have a more cylindrical shape than cone tornadoes. So they're fairly straight up and down. There's no getting narrower as you get closer to the ground. Size, they're similar in size to cone tornadoes. Cloud base have a tall and narrow cloud base that doesn't vary much in size between the base and the ground, meaning the wall cloud is not going to abruptly change its size like it would in a wedge tornado, for instance. Drill bit tornado, their shape is pretty much their name. Extremely narrow, concentrated vortex with high wind speeds, often appearing as a drilling motion. It's a narrow vortex, which unlike wider tornadoes, a drill bit tornado has a smaller diameter where most of the intense winds are located, causing a highly concentrated area of damage. It has very high wind speeds. Due to the concentrated nature of the vortex, the wind speeds within a drill bit tornado can be exceptionally high, causing significant damage in a small area. It also has very rapid rotation. The vortex of a drill tornado spins very quickly, contributing to its destructive nature and power. The visible appearance of a drill bit tornado, well, sometimes a drill bit tornado can be visually identified by a distinct funnel shape with a very narrow base, appearing almost like a drill bit penetrating the ground. So we have a multi-vortex tornado now. This is a tornado with two or more rotating columns of debris or condensation funnels. Structure is multiple vortices within larger funnel. Wind, more turbulent than a single vortex tornado. Damage, it can cause narrow, extreme swaths of damage. So it's not saying like a mile and a half wide. It could be a quarter mile wide, but it could be a quarter mile wide, but do that for 35 miles. So that's basically what that means. Visibility, visible when the tornado's first forming or when debris and condensation balance. A wedge tornado, appearance, it is wider than it is tall. So those are the ones if you see on TV, Facebook, any video picture, it takes up the whole screen. Size larger than cone tornadoes and have a wider base. So the base, when you look up, the wall cloud is going to be way bigger than it would be for a cone tornado. The damage can cause significant damage to buildings and other structures. I mean, we're talking about your EF4, EF5 tornadoes are most commonly wedge tornadoes, flattening houses. Your color, it's a sooty color from the dirt and debris it ingests. But then you have your mega wedge tornado, and that's a wedge tornado that is larger than 1.5 miles wide. You have a rope tornado. Their appearance, rope tornadoes are narrow and appear to blow to one side from the base of a cloud. So those are the ones that look like they're just like they're dancing out in their field, doing their own little thing. Right? Strength of a rope tornado. Rope tornadoes are usually less powerful than our tornadoes, but some can be more intense as they narrow or like get more concentrated. Duration: rope tornadoes can dissipate quickly, often lasting only a few minutes. Most of these are QLCS tornadoes or quasi-linear convective system tornadoes, which happen when a squall line bows out and it gets little kinks in it, and they're little. I like to think of QLCS as not quasi-linear convective system, as I think of it as quick little convective spin-ups. That's how I think of it. That's not the meteorological term, but that's how I used to describe it for myself, so I know. And maybe that'll help you all as well. Damage. Rope tornadoes can cause significant damage, including uprooting trees and damaging buildings. Now, that isn't significant in the fact of the one before was wedge and they can flatten buildings, but it's significant in the fact of these tornadoes don't last very long and they're typically not very strong. So, uprooting trees is pretty significant for a little tiny tornado. Elephant trunk tornado. The appearance: it resembles an elephant's trunk spinning from the sky to the ground. Size: similar in size to a stovepipe or cone tornado. Um, Formation: develops within a convective cloud and in contact with the ground. Wind speeds: can reach wind speeds of up to 300 miles per hour. Now, granted, every tornado on this list, except for the rope tornado, the QLCS tornado, can reach wind speeds of excess of 300 miles per hour. Just putting that out there. Duration: mostly lasts for very few minutes, as all tornadoes could be very long-lived or last very short times. But after you know your tornado types and characteristics, you need to kind of identify potential threats in your area. This would probably require you to Google and look back and see if your location has a history of seeing tornadoes or strong tornadoes frequently. Um, and then you need to know the difference between a tornado watch and a warning. Okay, so I like to think of this, and a lot of other meteorologists and YouTubers like to think of it as like a taco watch versus a taco warning. Yes, it sounds dumb, but when you think about it, say it's Tuesday night, your house is having tacos, okay? You put the ingredients out. The house is on taco watch. The ingredients are there. The conditions are favorable for taco genesis, right? But it hasn't happened yet. You haven't started cooking your hamburger or dicing your tomato or your lettuce or your onions or whatever you put on your tacos, okay? You haven't started making and assembling the taco. You just have the ingredients out there. The conditions are there. It just hasn't happened yet, okay? So tornado watch, ingredients are there, conditions favorable for tornado to happen, but it hasn't yet, but stay on the lookout. Stay vigilant. Okay, tornado warning or taco warning. You've cooked your hamburger, you've diced your tomato, your lettuce, your onions, you're assembling your taco, you're melting the cheese on top of your meat. You're assembling your taco. Your house is under a taco warning. Same thing with tornado warning. Tornado or taco is imminent. Tornado is imminent. Take shelter immediately. Do not wait or hesitate to see the tornado, because sometimes once you see the tornado, it's already too late. Again, just to recap, a watch means conditions are favorable for the claimed threat, and a warning means that the threat is imminent. So, if your thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, take shelter immediately. You don't want to mess around with those storms. Seeking safe shelter. Identify the safest place in your home, preferably in your basement. But if you don't have a basement, Use your closet or your bathroom away from doors and windows, and put as many walls between you and the outside world as you possibly can. I understand some houses are not, they don't have that interior closet, and their bathroom might have a window, but if you have a basement, please, please, please go in your basement. Remain calm and stay informed while in shelter, whether that be with your phone or if you have a NOAA all hazards weather radio. Those two things will help keep you safe during severe weather. And then your post tornado recovery, check to make sure everyone is okay and check for injuries after the tornado has passed and you know it's gone and safe to get out. Okay. Assess the property damage. And another thing is people think, oh, I need to like alert the authorities. Like the authorities should already know if a tornado has happened, especially if it's in a town. Now, if you don't live in a town and you live like out in the country like I do, maybe you have to alert the authorities, just so they know. But 99% of the time, the authorities should already know of the situation that is unfolding. Most of them are the ones who relay the confirmation of a tornado outside of town, or relay the confirmation of the funnel, 3 miles southwest of town. They tell the National Weather Service, and the Weather Service says, hey, thanks, we couldn't see it, thank you. We put out the warning. Everyone needs to get in shelter, right? So the authorities should already know. But like I said, if you live out in the country or you don't live in town, maybe you need to call the authorities, but most often than not, the authorities already do know of the event that's unfolding, whether that be a tornado or a flood or a blizzard. Like I said, most of the time the authorities should pretty much already know what's going on, but there could be a time where they're caught off guard as well and they don't understand the magnitude of what's happening. They don't understand the magnitude of the situation. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new and you haven't already, click that notification bell so you get notified anytime I watch the video. Um, like I said, like the video, it helps get the video and the channel out there to more people. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.